first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Faking the handoff. Howell. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Second down throw for Howell. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught at the 20. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Another throw for Howell. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Jacobs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They begin the drive. And he's got room. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. Give him 42 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
On second down, Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to first and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Touchdown, Broncos! K.J. Hamler from 4 yards out. And the Broncos are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. He brings the kickoff back 85 yards. And the Saints have taken the lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Williams. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on 4th down, the Broncos send Corliss Waitman out to punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. Nice job bringing that one back. 14th on the return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Play action. It's Howell. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Chris Olave, 49 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. Now Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what...
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. But turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly. But, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stopped that one behind the line of scrimmage. Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. Yikes. Terrible kick. Headed straight for the sideline.
The Saints take over 1st down 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Davis. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. He was able to get away initially on that play, but ultimately not much space to roam.
Great job there by them containing him because you mentioned he got away initially, and how many times does that end up with a guy taking off for 15 or 20 yards? Here, the support was there, and they made the tackle for a loss.
Now the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
Third and long. Here's Howell. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Fourth down, Howell. Got an open man, it's Olave. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Oh, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A run on first down with Jacobs as he'll get this forward for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 22, Howell. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Throwing here, Howell. This one taken in by Olave. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half. And part of that can be attributed to their success on third downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
They go play action with Howell. Touchdown! Gabriel Davis, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 57 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
On 2nd and a... Sure gets him. Brought down for a sack. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now it's Wilson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Back to throw. Wilson. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson and Debo. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one overall.